Hey guys, happy Thanksgiving and shit. Quick update on the IM-11 VTVM. I got the battery eliminator installed. As you can see here, I just stuck it on there with one screw. It's light enough, I don't think it'll hurt anything. I've got it soldered onto one of those transformer output wires, the one that ends up going to the pilot light here, and I've got the grounds just tightens down underneath of this nut right here, grounded to the case and shit. It's producing 1.5 hair more volts like it's supposed to, and I'm feeding it into the old positive battery terminal down there, and of course the negative was just grounded to the case, which it already is, so it's not necessary to change any of this stuff. But after I got that thing installed, I started testing the resistance measurements, and it wasn't working right. And I was like, well, what the fuck? And I started looking down in there, and down there where you can see this heat shrink monstrosity down here, back right here, was this capacitor that I missed because I'm a dumbass. This 0.47 microfarad 1600 volt tubular capacitor, and in my stupidity I assumed, oh, a tubular capacitor of that age is obviously going to be bad, so I removed it from, just cut it out and tested it, and lo and behold, it's reading 0.052 microfarads, and the ESR value is exactly the same as the string of three 630 volt 0.15 microfarad capacitors that I put in to replace it, because when you put capacitors in series like that, that whole string of three capacitors ends up being 0.49 microfarads, and well, if the leakage isn't exactly the same on every one, they'll each have a slightly different voltage across them, so you can't divide the voltage evenly by 3, but there's enough wiggle room there that, you know, this was 1600 volt capacitor, and we put in, you know, three 630 volt capacitors in series there, so that's going to be like 1800 volts worth of capacitor there, which should be more than enough to handle the 1500 volt maximum that this meter is rated for. So with that ought to have enough wiggle room that if the leakage is a little different across them and the voltage is a little different, hopefully it'll be fine. I guess the worst that can happen is something smokes and I have to replace it again, right? But since I cut this one out, the leads weren't long enough anymore, so I couldn't just put it back in, and it is kind of old anyway. The big problem with putting capacitors in series like this, though, is that the ESR increases when you do that. So the ESRs add together. So the ESR of that series capacitor thing ended up being the same as this old one that tests good. So I don't know why the resistance measurements aren't working. Mr. Beefy is on my lap and he wants to know too, so if you've got any clues as to what I should check, I'm not sure where else to go from here. I guess I should try to calibrate the thing, but I mean, it was like barely registering any resistance measurements at all, so there's something funny going on here. Maybe this one tube is awfully loose in this socket. Maybe it's not making a connection like it should. I don't know. I'll get back to this after Thanksgiving. It's about time for me to, you know, force feed myself until I puke. So I hope you all have a happy Thanksgiving, and I'll talk to you soon. Clue me in if you've got any clues. Thanks. See ya.